Have you ever seen a baby born with just one eye? Around the world, there are rare and unbelievable birth conditions that even doctors can't fully explain. From children with features never seen before, to infants who defied every medical expectation. These stories will leave you amazed. Today, we're counting down 10 unusual babies who shocked their parents. Real-life miracles and mysteries that prove nature still has surprises waiting for us. Are you new in this video? Click subscribe and hit notification bell, so let's get started. Christian Buchanan was born on February 18, 2011, with an extraordinarily rare birth defect, a severe form of Tessier cleft lip and palate, which extended from his mouth across his cheekbones and up toward his eyes. In fact, his eyes never developed, and he was confirmed to be blind just days after his birth. During his mother's pregnancy, doctors detected anomalies on ultrasound and warned of serious complications. At one point, they offered termination as an option, which his parents declined. From just a few days old, Christian began a lifelong journey of surgeries, therapies, and adaptations. A feeding tube at days old, graft surgery on his skull, and numerous procedures to repair the facial cleft. Despite these challenges, Christian's story is not defined by limitations, but by remarkable resilience and joy. His mother, Lali Buchanan, emphasizes that Christian teaches me just to be more joyous and not complain about stuff that just doesn't matter. Today, Christian lives the life of a typical joyful little boy, laughing, teasing, learning, while overcoming the odds stacked against him. His story reminds us that even in the face of extreme physical adversity, the human spirit can shine bright. Imagine being born into the world joined to your twin sister in every sense, sharing a body, sharing a heartbeat, sharing a life. This is the remarkable story of Marieme and Ndeye. Mariam and Ndeye were born in Dakar, Senegal in 2016-2017, sources vary, and from the first moment doctors faced grim odds. They were conjoined and survival was uncertain. Their father, Marieme and Ndeye, refused to accept that fate, and he and his family made the courageous decision to move to the UK in search of specialized care. Today, the girls live in Cardiff, Wales, attending mainstream school and defying every assumption made about them. Their bodies are joined in such a way that separation surgery was determined to carry extremely high risk for both, so instead, they remain together. But despite the medical challenges, their personalities shine through. Their dad describes them as miracles, each with her own character. Ndeye outgoing, eager to lead, Mariam quieter, steadily coming into her own. They navigate life intertwined physically, yet their spirits remain distinct. This isn't a story of tragedy, but one of resilience, of unconditional parental love, and of a community rallying around two extraordinary young girls. Their journey reminds us, even when the odds are stacked, hope and human connection can change everything. For Mariam and Ndeye, each day together is a gift. One body, two souls, one inspiring story. Meet Gavin Silvestri, born with a rare and life-changing condition known as lymphatic malformation, a cluster of abnormal lymphatic vessels forming spongy, cyst-like masses that rarely drain properly. From his earliest days in the NICU, he fought for every breath, every meal, every moment. He's nonverbal, uses sign language and a communication device, has a feeding tube and a tracheostomy to support his airway, a direct result of the malformation pressing on his windpipe and neck. Despite all these medical hurdles, Gavin's spirit shines bright. His family describes him as funny, happy, and filled with intelligence beyond what many expect. His story is not just about survival. It's about redefining what different means. Through surgeries, therapies, and countless hospital visits, he is teaching the world a lesson. Your value isn't defined by your physical condition. It's defined by your heart, your resilience, your joy. As you follow Gavin's journey, remember this: Challenges may shape a life, but they don't limit a spirit. Gavin's life stands as proof that every child, however unique their path, has a story worth celebrating. Meet Bayezid Hossain, a little boy from Magura in southern Bangladesh whose story stunned the world. Despite being only about 4 years old in 2016, his body looked like that of an 80-year-old pensioner. Bayezid was diagnosed with a profound form of progeria, a rare genetic disorder that accelerates the aging process at an extreme rate, and also showed signs of cutis laxa, a connective tissue condition causing sagging, loose skin. His mother, Tripti Khatun, who married young and lived in a rural community, recalls how terrified she was when he was born. Doctors told the family they'd never seen a baby like him. She says, "He looked like an alien. It broke my heart." Physically, Bayezid suffered. Weak and broken teeth already by age 4, joints that ached, skin that hung loosely. He didn't attend regular school because other children were frightened of his appearance. Yet despite the overwhelming physical challenges, Bayezid's mind was sharp. His parents described him as intelligent, very aware, full of conversation, a mind that didn't match the look of his body. His story reminds us that behind appearances often lies an individual full of potential, and that rare conditions can shine a spotlight on how society treats difference. Bayezid may never have lived as long as other children, but his courage, his life, and his family's love transformed him into a symbol of hope. This image shows a newborn with an extremely rare congenital disorder known as cyclopia, a condition in which the baby's facial features do not develop normally in the womb, resulting in a single eye located in the center of the forehead. Cyclopia occurs when the embryonic brain fails to divide properly into 2 hemispheres. It is often accompanied by other severe deformities, and sadly, most infants with this condition do not survive long after birth. Scientists believe that genetic mutations, chromosomal abnormalities, or toxic exposures during pregnancy can contribute to this tragic defect. While it's incredibly rare, occurring in about 1 in 100,000 births, it continues to be a subject of medical study aimed at understanding early human development. What can you say about this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Lali Singh was born on March 11, 2008 in the village of Saini Sunpura in northern India, to parents Vinod and Sushma Singh. She was born with an extremely rare condition called craniofacial duplication, where a single head has 2 faces. That means Lali has 2 noses, 2 pairs of lips, and 2 pairs of eyes. Everything except for the ears is duplicated. Despite how she looks, doctors say Lali was doing surprisingly well. She had no breathing problems, she could drink milk from both mouths, and she could open and close all 4 eyes. Her birth triggered a strong reaction in her community. Villagers began worshipping her, believing she might be the reincarnation of the Hindu goddess Durga, who is traditionally associated with valor and power. People flocked to visit her, touching her feet for blessings, offering money, and praising her as a gift to the village. The local authorities said they considered building a temple in her honor, and some wanted the government to help the family with care. However, the parents and medical staff reportedly felt that surgery was not yet necessary, since for now Lali is behaving like a normal child, without serious internal abnormalities being known. Anjali Kumari, 7 years old, and her younger brother Keshav, about 18 months, live in Ranchi, Jharkhand, India. They suffer from 2 very rare genetic conditions called cutis laxa and progeria, which make their skin lose elasticity, become extremely wrinkled, and generally cause them to appear much older than they really are. Their parents, Shatrughan Rajak and Rinki Devi, first noticed Anjali's condition when she was very young. At about 6 months old, she had pneumonia, and after she recovered, her skin stayed unusually dry and loose. Soon after Keshav was born, his skin began showing similar symptoms. Even though these illnesses affect how they look and sometimes cause joint pain or discomfort, Anjali and Keshav are not completely immobile or bedridden. They go to school, Anjali, play, and try to live as normally as possible. But life is still hard. They are teased and stared at by others. Kids call Anjali names like Dadi Amma, grandmother, Budia, old lady, Bandaria, monkey, even Hanuman, because of how she looks. These kinds of insults hurt. Because their family is very poor, their father works as a laundryman with low income, they can't afford expensive medical tests or treatments. Most of what they can get are homeopathic remedies, which haven't helped much. There has been some outside help. After their story got out in the news, an NGO called Care Today Fund offered medical assistance. Also, the local government in Jharkhand has provided some help through a scheme for treating incurable diseases, but there is still no known cure. Treatments are mostly about easing symptoms and improving comfort. Born on April 15, 1992 in Ukraine, Richard Sandrak moved to the U.S. with his family when he was just 2 years old. His father, Pavel Sandrak, was a martial arts world champion. His mother, Lena, competed in aerobics, so fitness was nearly built into his childhood. By age 6, Richard was reportedly bench pressing around $180 via 82 kilos, and by age 8 able to bench roughly 210 over 95 kilo, astonishing numbers for a child. He became internationally known via the documentary The World's Strongest Boy, 2005, which spotlighted his extreme training, and also raised questions about whether a child should be doing adult-level bodybuilding. However, behind the fame was a difficult upbringing. Richard later revealed that much of his childhood was marked by isolation, homeschooled, few friends, and an intense training regime that felt more like duty than play. In 2003, his father was imprisoned for assaulting his mother and later deported to Ukraine. Richard has since said he had no wish to reconnect. As he grew older, Richard distanced himself from competitive bodybuilding, describing his time lifting as almost like PTSD, and switching to more balanced physical activities, work outside the spotlight, and a quieter life in Los Angeles. Today, Richard's story stands as a cautionary tale. Extreme childhood achievement can have a high cost. He remains proud of what he achieved, but also aware of the personal toll it took, and now focuses on redefining his identity beyond the strongest boy in the world. Sophia Weaver was born with multiple severe health challenges, including significant facial, hand and foot deformities, and was later diagnosed with both type 1 diabetes and the neurological disorder Rett syndrome, a rare condition that severely impairs motor skills and communication. From around age 3, she became a patient at a children's hospital in North Carolina, where specialists described her as the rarest of the rare, because her combination of conditions, immunodeficiency plus craniofacial plus limb deformities, had only 2 other known families worldwide. Despite the gravity of her conditions, Sophia's family emphasized that she loved music, crafts, and being with her siblings. She was still just a little girl in many ways, even though her body faced such extraordinary burdens. Her mother, Natalie Weaver, became an outspoken advocate for medically complex children. Sophia's daily 24-hour care, dozens of surgeries, around 25 by a certain point, and frequent hospital visits underscored the reality of life for children with very rare disorders and the enormous toll on families. Sadly, Sophia passed away in May 2019 at the age of 10, surrounded by her family. Her passing was publicly announced by her mother, who vowed to continue advocacy in her memory. Lalit Patidar is an 18-year-old teenager from Madhya Pradesh, India, who has made headlines by breaking a world record for the hairiest face on a male. He has a rare medical condition called hypertrichosis, often dubbed werewolf syndrome, which causes excessive hair growth all over the body, and in his case, over 95% of his face is covered in hair, with a measured density of 201.72 hairs per square centimeter. Since this condition is extremely rare, only around 50 documented cases globally since the Middle Ages, his case is often described as 1 in a billion. As a child, Lalit says his appearance caused some social difficulties. Classmates were initially scared of him, but as they got to know him, they accepted him and realized he was just like them, only the outside looked different. Rather than hide or change his appearance, he embraces his uniqueness. When asked if he would remove his facial hair, his reply was, "I like how I am. I don't want to change my look." He also uses social media and runs a YouTube channel, offering viewers a glimpse into his life and how he handles everyday experiences while living with such a rare condition. His story is a powerful example of resilience, self-acceptance, and the idea that appearance doesn't define your character or inner worth. Tio Satrio is an inspiring young boy from Penawangan village in West Java, Indonesia, born without arms and legs. Despite this, he has flourished into a determined and optimistic individual. His mother, Mimi, was unaware of his condition during pregnancy and only realized it after his birth. Initial shock quickly gave way to acceptance and unwavering dedication to helping Tio thrive. From an early age, Tio learned to adapt ingeniously. He performs everyday tasks, such as writing, eating, and unwrapping snacks, using his chin, mouth, and shoulders. His intellect stands out, particularly in school, where he excels in mathematics, solving fourth-grade level problems, like multiplication and division, at an age where most are just beginning basic arithmetic. Tio is also a passionate gamer. He mastered the PlayStation controller using only his chin and shoulders, and plays daily, often outperforming his classmates and enjoying every moment of his gaming sessions. This pursuit brings him immense joy and underscores his skill, adaptability, and resilience. At school, Tio is well loved. His laughter and positivity have made him a favorite among classmates and teachers, who support him in his wheelchair and cheer him on. Though daily support with dressing and mobility is still needed, he attends SLB Firdaus, a special needs school, where he receives assistance and encouragement. Tio's story is one of courage and boundless spirit. Through creativity, intelligence, and an unyielding attitude, he shows the world that disability does not define one's potential. He is a powerful testament to human adaptability and hope. Verdant Joshi is a young boy from Gujarat, India, who gained international attention after being born with an extraordinarily large right foot. His foot measures about 11 inches, 28 centimeters in length, and is reported to weigh around 12 pounds, 5.4 kilograms, comparable to a bowling ball. What makes Verdant's case even more astonishing is that, despite the size and weight of his foot, he is able to walk and run with relatively normal mobility. Over the years, hundreds of doctors have examined him and speculated on what might be causing this extreme overgrowth, yet no definitive medical diagnosis has been confirmed in credible sources. Because the condition is so rare and puzzling, medical professionals have proposed various possibilities, from overgrowth disorders to issues with tissue development, but none have been formally established. His family has also faced emotional challenges. Verdant has reportedly endured bullying, and finding shoes or clothing to fit his limb is extremely difficult. Some doctors have even suggested amputation as a treatment, though this remains a controversial and drastic option. Verdant's story has been covered in media and online articles, including Black Sports Online, which published images and details of his condition in 2015 under the headline, "Docs Can't Figure Out What's Going On with This Kid's Foot." The article emphasized the medical mystery surrounding his case and the challenges his family faces. Verdant Joshi's condition remains unsolved, making him one of the most extraordinary and mysterious medical cases in recent years. Every one of these babies was born different, but their stories remind us that every life, no matter how rare or challenging, carries its own kind of miracle. From strength to survival, they've shown us that beauty isn't about perfection, it's about courage. If these unbelievable stories amazed you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you'll never miss another video from Aaron Polo TV. where we bring you the world's most extraordinary stories. Thanks for watching, and always remember, being different is what makes us truly unique.